Well, good morning. Welcome to Rooted and Relevant. And we had an amazing time last night with all of our kiddos, um, all six grandkids, and three of our boys and their wives. And we were enjoying a wonderful, wonderful time. I don't know whether I can let you see. I put swings I hung some new swings out, and they enjoyed those. And we enjoyed watching them enjoy those, and then had a little cookout. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that today as we look at Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 9. I mentioned this verse yesterday, but wanted to expand on it today. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity, for that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun. Solomon is reminding us that God has designed certain things that we steward in this life. They're gifts from God. And one of those gifts is his design for marriage. And if you are married, God said, don't let a moment get by without embracing the beauty of its design, without embracing and enjoying the outgrowth of it, that which it is supposed to do for us. It teaches us a lot about love. It teaches us a lot about commitment. It teaches us a lot about God's design in not only extending love, but to experience love. It is an amazing reality. It is the bulwark of society. In other words, the fact that we can enjoy children is really an outgrowth of God's design of marriage. The fact that we get to embrace grandchildren is just an outgrowth of that design. And so as your family expands and you get to experience the various aspects of what the family is supposed to produce, you just should be filled with more and more gratitude and stand in more awe of the brilliance of God, the grace of God, the mercy of God. He gives us a time to experience it. The time is fleeting and the time is temporary. The time that I have with my wife is temporary. The time that I have with my kids is temporary. The time that I have with my grandkids is temporary. These are temporary experiences. And that's why Solomon, under inspiration, calls them vanity. In other words, they're fleeting. They're only for a time, but they have a purpose. So he starts by saying, live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity. In other words, for the time that you have here, you get to love and be loved. So enjoy it, embrace it, and enjoy the design of it. Don't waste it. I think there's one little phrase in there that is really critical. And he says, whom thou lovest all the days of thy life, the life that you have here. Love is a choice. And there's no greater thing you can do in your marriage than to biblically love your spouse and to experience being biblically loved by them, where they choose to love you because this is the design of God, and it grows and flourishes. And it is an amazing thing that God has put together for those of us that get to enjoy it here on this earth. And so he tells us, make sure that you live joyfully. Don't get caught up in the nonsense. Don't get caught up in the things that don't matter. I'm reminded years ago when I first was in the ministry, my first year of ministry as a youth pastor, a dear couple that we just love. They treated us like their own kids. And They lived right up the street, and I remember getting the phone call that her husband had experienced a heart attack, having coffee in the morning, and the EMTs were there, and she asked if we could come down. And long story made short, the Lord called him home to glory that morning, and we took his wife all the way to the hospital, and then we took her back home after all of the uh, all of the things at the hospital, the declaring of him passed, and all the things that had to take place there, and we took her home. And I remember sitting at her kitchen table, and with tears, she said, Mark would go and work in the garage or work outside, and his hands would be filthy. And he would come to my kitchen, and he would use the soap in the dish, and he would wash his hands, and he would leave the soap oily or dirty, and the soap dish oily and dirty, and then he would use my dish rags to dry his hands and leave them dirty. And boy, I would fuss and fuss and fuss at him, and she just started to bawl, and she said, oh, that I could see that dish dirty, that soap dirty, that dish towel dirty. It's just sometimes we fight over nonsense. We make too much of things that don't matter, and it stands in the way of living joyfully. I think we need to learn to let things be what they are. Don't make them into something they're not, and control that old selfish nature that wants everything our way on our terms. And just remember, live joyfully with the wife or the spouse that you love all the days that you are here on this earth, all the days they are here on this earth, and enjoy them. And buy up every second, because we just don't know how many we have. And so that's my advice today. Live joyfully with your spouse and let things be what they are. Don't make them into what they're not. And pursue a life of serving the Lord and growing to love him more as you grow to love each other more every day. God bless you. Hope you have a great day. We're about to go off to see the kids and experience a little coffee shop. And we're going to have a great day. I hope you do as well. God bless you. I'll see you next week.